The camera pans across the massive Divine Rock Assembly. Worshippers scream, "Hallelujah!" as Pastor Ojonah raises his hands in prayer. But behind the altar, a dark secret waits. A young chorister, Adavis, watches him intently. What starts as innocent help will explode into scandal, and a revenge that even God cannot stop. The city of Enugu woke to a blazing Sunday sun, but the loudest sound wasn't the traffic. It was the roar from Divine Rock Assembly. Cars, buses, and okadas clogged the streets as ushers struggled to direct worshippers. The choir's voice thundered, shaking the auditorium, as if every note could pierce the sky itself. Pastor Ojonah, tall and imposing in a spotless white agada, held his golden microphone. Every hand raised seemed to command the heavens, and every prayer sent shivers down the spine of his congregation. For 12 years, he had risen from a street preacher with a borrowed megaphone to one of Southeast Nigeria's most respected pastors. Politicians, businessmen, students, they all came seeking miracles. Everyone loved him. Everyone trusted him. Except him. His eyes kept drifting to Adavis, a 23-year-old choir member with a voice like an angel. Her sweet, powerful singing had earned her the nickname Angel of Divine Rock. But behind her innocent smile was a dangerous secret. She was the only daughter of Baba Een, a feared native doctor in Kogi. Her father's dark powers ran in her blood, a bloodline tied to altars, spirits, and vengeance. Adavis had come to Enugu seeking a new life, away from her father's dark world. But darkness had a way of following her. Started small. Adavis stayed late after choir practice, helping Pastor Ojonah arrange sermon notes. First he thought it harmless. But her presence unsettled him in ways prayer could not erase. "Daddy, can I help you with these sermon notes? I noticed you were still working," she asked shyly, walking closer. He cleared his throat. "Ah, all right, just these few outlines," he replied, forcing calm. Her perfume was soft but intoxicating. Her closeness made his heart race, and he silently cursed himself. "Do you ever get lonely?" she whispered, almost inaudibly. "You carry so many burdens for this church, for everyone. But who carries you?" Her words struck him like a dagger. He wanted to deny it, to pray it away, but her gaze held him captive. Weeks passed. What began as innocent mentorship became a dangerous attraction. Pastor Ojonah tried to resist, but Adavis was patient, deliberate, and cunning. Every glance, every smile, every word seemed calculated. One hot Tuesday afternoon, she entered his office holding a small paper bag. "Daddy, we need to talk." He frowned. "What is it? Why do you look like this?" She placed a pregnancy test on his desk. I am carrying your child." Time froze. He staggered back, gripping the desk. This can't be happening." "Yes, Pastor. It is. And you must decide what to do," she said firmly. He hesitated. You need to handle this quietly. No one must know." Adavis's eyes burned with defiance. "No, I am not removing this child. If you won't stand by me, I will do it myself." 3 weeks later, whispers spread through the church. Choir members noticed Adavis's new glow, her expensive handbags. The rumor mill churned fast. Oziu, Pastor Ojonah's wife, noticed. Her heart sank. She confronted him. "Ojonah, is there something I should know about you and Adavis?" He lied smoothly. "Nothing. Just gossip. People will always talk." But Oziu knew something was wrong. She prayed all night, asking God for clarity and protection. Adavis returned to Kogi, crying to her father. Baba Een listened calmly, then prepared a ritual. 7 black goats were slaughtered, dark chants filled the night air, and ancestral spirits awakened. "Whoever mocks the blood of Nich," Baba Een roared, "let his light turn to darkness. Let his strength waste away until he begs for mercy." Adavis knelt, tears flowing. "I just want him to feel what I felt." The following Sunday, Divine Rock Assembly was packed. Pastor Ojonah took the altar, confident as ever. But as he began his sermon, his voice cracked. He coughed but no sound came. His lips moved, yet no words escaped. Sweat ran down his forehead. He staggered, clutching his chest as unseen pressure pressed down on him. The congregation panicked. Ushers rushed forward. Cameras flashed. Oziu knelt in shock, her heart pounding. At the hospital, doctors found nothing physically wrong. Medically he's fine, they said. But Oziu knew better. Back at home, Pastor Ojona could not sleep. He whispered to himself, What is happening to me? Shadows seemed to move across the walls, and every corner of his office felt alive. He felt eyes on him, a judgment he could not escape. Atavis's plan had worked. The spirits of her bloodline had struck. Pastor Ojona's secret, lustful sin was no longer hidden. Fear, shame, and guilt consumed him. He could no longer preach with the same authority. Even the choir noticed a subtle change. The power in his voice had diminished. Back in Kogi, Baba Een smiled. No man brings shame to the blood of Nich and goes free. That night, Pastor Ojona sat alone in his office, trembling. The Bible lay open before him, but his faith felt weak. The altar, the ministry, his reputation, they were all under threat. Somewhere in the darkness, Atavis smiled. Her child would not be hidden. And the spirits of Nich were far from finished. The next Sunday, the church hall was more tense than ever. Every eye was on Pastor Ojona as he approached the altar. His robe flowed behind him, but his steps were hesitant. A sudden cough interrupted him mid-sermon. The congregation froze. Some whispered, others gasped. Oziu watched silently from the front row, gripping her Bible. Fear gnawed at her heart. She could feel that this was bigger than human scandal, something dark, spiritual, and unstoppable. Pastor Ojona's voice faltered again. He coughed violently, tears forming in his eyes. Cameras flashed. Phones recorded. The worshippers whispered, "What is happening to Papa Fire?" Meanwhile, far away in Kogi, Atavis knelt at her father's shrine, chanting softly. She placed her hand on her growing belly. "The spirits will protect us. He will never forget what he has done." The day ended with Pastor Ojona collapsing into a chair at the altar, his body shaking. He could feel the weight of every lie, every betrayal, and every secret sin pressing down on him. The church that had once worshipped him now watched in awe, fear, and confusion. The final words of the day whispered through the hall. Some sins are too deep for forgiveness, and some blood never forgets. Who will survive this battle of sin, betrayal, and supernatural revenge? Only time will tell.